In this video, we will replace the worn leather without taking off the airbag. Using a utility knife, we cut the old thread so we can remove the old leather. This is the artificial leather that we will use. Try to bring the white line at the center of the steering wheel. This white line is erasable. Now we will glue only the front side of the steering wheel. And now we press the artificial leather on the steering wheel to stick. Now we will glue the back side of the steering wheel, but this time only behind the spokes. Press the artificial leather on the steering wheel to stick. And now we're preparing for the sewing process. Sewing the spokes requires going through all stitches, but sewing the arcs requires skipping one stitch at a time. Notice that you don't have to pull the thread hard. You can use a piece of tape to prevent the thread from loosening up. Now that we've done the spoke, we can change to skipping one stitch at a time. Continue the sewing process without pulling the thread with force. In a few seconds, you will see how to close the gap properly. This is how you close the gap. Using the other side of the needle, lift the thread and give it a little tension. Now, by twisting the artificial leather, you can force it to close the gap. Use a piece of tape to lock this tension. Now we have reached the other spoke and we are ready to finish the sewing process with a knob. We cut the thread with scissors, leaving 1 inch from the knot. We repeat the process to sew the downside of the steering wheel. We have successfully finished the sewing process and we're about to glue the edges of the spokes. Use the plastic tool to press the artificial leather in the gap. thread under the artificial leather by using a small tool. And the last thing we have to do is to erase the white line. Use an eraser to remove the white line. The steering wheel is ready and it looks absolutely beautiful. The artificial leather is perfectly tight on the steering wheel. The feeling you have with the grip is exactly how it was when it was brand new.